Today we're going to be learning all about Power BI's hidden secrets. Let's take a look at some of the highlights that we have coming on up in this video. What that function returns is it returns a pandas data frame. And if we go over into our built-in files, here is that entire report's definition, reports of this Power BI file. As you can see, it's using a connection string to connect to my semantic model. Not only now do I have a report, but I also have a .semantic model. Here is our new combined PBIX file. Whoa, that was a lot. So, what are we doing? Well, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the code behind the Power BI, PBIR, and PBIP file formats. And we're going to be combining a semantic model with a report file back into a single PBIX. If that interests you, well, I hope you're ready because we're about to jump into the computer. So, in a previous video, I showed you how to split all of your reports apart from your Power BI semantic models. So in this case, we have the report example 11 revenue target. And if we look at this same report in lineage view, what you'll see is that it's connected to a semantic model called example 11 target in a different workspace. If we go over to that workspace, you'll see that this semantic model isn't really connected to anything on its own. So if I go right here and then go download, the PBIX that it will download will be a blank file. So let's just open this on up. And just like that, here is that downloaded file. As you can see, it's completely blank with no visuals and just one page. There is, however, a fully built out data model that was powering the report. And this is the data model that we downloaded. And here's the front end that we want to combine back in with that data set. So let's go file and down and wait. It's grayed out. So as best as I can tell, this is happening because I split these two reports apart programmatically. Now, this is where some people might give up and just delete the report and start all over. But we're not going to do that here. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to use some code and semantic link to grab the report's definition programmatically. So Semantic Link Labs has a get report definition function. What that function returns is it returns a pandas data frame that has the path of where the file should go in the report folder structure, the file base64 encoded, and then a payload type indicating to us that the file is inline base64 encoded. Now, I was not super happy with that. I mean, sure, we could go and manually re-encode all of the files, but I wanted Python to do that for me. So what I did is I went into Semantic Link Labs GitHub, and you can do that because it's open source. And I grabbed the code in the Python file where that function was defined. Then I went and I edited the function a little bit. I edited the function so it takes one additional parameter. If the function is true, what it does is it saves the Power BI report in the notebook that is running that function's built-in resources so you can go ahead and download it. However, if the function is false, it essentially just does the same thing and returns a pandas data frame. So let's take a look at how that works. So here is my modified function. And as you can see, when I call it right here, it takes a little second to run, but we'll get that same pandas data frame. And then if we go over into our built-in files, here is that entire report's definition. Now, if we run this again, we'll still get that same data frame, only there's a little additional logic to essentially create the same folder, but with a 1 next to it, exactly like how your downloads work. So that was just a little something that, a little extra I put in. Now we can go ahead and we can download this. So I'm going to hit download, and then I'm going to go into my downloads, and here is that zip. So I'm going to go right here and I'm going to go extract all and extract it into my downloads folder. Now here is my PBIR file. If I go ahead and I rename this away from a PBIR to a JSON file, and I go, yes, I want to change the extension, and then open this up in VS Code, what you'll see is you'll see the inner parts of this Power BI file. As you can see, it's using a connection string to connect to my semantic model. And there's some other kind of stuff in here. So I don't really want to keep this. Remember, my goal is to take my file with the semantic model and combine it with the file with the report. So I don't want a PBIR that's trying to connect up to the service. So I'm going to open up that PBIR file. So I'm going to open that PBIR file and I'm going to go File, Save As, and I'm going to save it in a folder on my computer as a PBIP file. Now, this is a really cool file format. The PBIR allowed you to do some of this stuff, but it doesn't organize it quite as nicely. So the PBIP creates a nice folder called .report where it has a few different things. It has a local settings for my Power BI settings. It has a definitions or report definition page where I've got one JSON for all of my bookmarks. I've got one JSON for my pages, right? If we start drilling in, here's the visuals on that page, right? And then it has the report.json, which if we open up, here's the report nicely organized where it's declaring a theme, and my version.json, which right here's just the version of the format. It has a few other things in here, including that original definition PBIR file, still a static resources for all like the theme file, and then the image file or the PNG. But it also has a semantic model diagram layout and a platform layout. So the parts that actually make up the visuals here in this sense are going to be the static resources and this definition. So what I can then do is I can go into my file that has the live model. So here's that same file, and I can save it as a PIBP2. So I can go File, Save As, and I will go browse this device, and I will go into this, and I will save it as a PIBP. And it will essentially create the same folder structure minus a few little changes. And that little change is that not only now do I have a report, but I also have a .semantic model. Now, remember, if I go into my report definitions of my original one, right, it didn't connect to a semantic model. So let's take a look at this one and let's see how it differs. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rename this to a JSON. So we can open it in VS Code. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open it up in VS Code. And look at this. It actually references a data set in the folder, right? So after renaming this back to a PBIR, what I can do is I can go into the file that has the visuals that I want. I can go into that report folder and I can copy the definition and the static resources and then go into the file that has the semantic model connection, and I can replace these files, and then I can go back in and open up the PBIP. And when I open this back up, what you'll see is that we have a file that has been recombined. So here is our visuals, right? Popping right on up nicely. And we have our two pages. And here is that semantic model. All that's then left to do is then to go File, Save As, and save it as a PBIX. And we'll go ahead and we'll save that back over here into this test. We'll say PBIX, hit save. Then here we are. Here is our new combined PBIX file. Here's the original report that was just the report that was not connected to the semantic model. And here is the semantic model with the pieces of the report that we just recombined. So with that, I hope you learned a little bit more about Power BI PBIR and PBIP file formats, as well as the code and the kind of the file structure that goes into them. If you did enjoy this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. If not for me and this content, for my dog Jai, who joined us for the tail end of this video, hoping I'll give him a treat.